Hello and welcome to the Manage Application and Network Services course, part of the Azure 70532 exam prep by Cloud Academy. In this lecture, we'll briefly introduce you to all the topics that we'll delve into during this course. This course assumes some familiarity with the fundamentals of .NET development. The course does not require advanced expertise, but some familiarity of Visual Studio 2013 or newer and C# is assumed. A basic familiarity with PowerShell is required, as we'll be introducing several key Azure commandlets that are part of the course objectives. Lastly, a working knowledge of networking and specifically IPv4 will be beneficial for sections dealing with the network configuration and communication strategies. The goal of this course is to provide the practical knowledge and experience needed to master Manage Application and Network Services section of the 70532 Microsoft Azure Solutions Certification path. This course will cover the key topics with a focus on the competencies tested by the exam. With reference to the official syllabus, the topics will include integrating an application with Azure Active Directory, or AD for short, configuring a virtual network and modifying existing network configurations, designing and implementing a communication strategy, as well as monitoring communications, and lastly, we'll cover the topic of caching. This course has been split into lectures dealing with Azure Active Directory, networking, communication and caching. We'll start by looking at the Azure AD. We'll cover the fundamentals, including the creation of a directory, user management. We'll then move on to more complex topics of WS Federation, OAuth and SAML-P endpoints. We'll finish by demonstrating the Graph API for interacting with Azure AD. The next section will cover the topic of Azure networking. We'll first discuss virtual networks and how to deploy VMs and cloud services to virtual networks. And we'll finish with the topic of network configuration, focusing on subnets and importing and exporting existing network configurations. The communication section will cover the topics of service bus. We'll look at creating a service bus namespace, queues, topics and relays. We'll also look at notification hubs, event hubs, both unique in their features and usage scenarios. And mixed in with these topics, we'll cover choosing tiers and scaling. Lastly, we'll cover the topic of caching. We'll introduce the concept of Redis cache, and we'll also show you how you can migrate from Azure Cache Services to the Redis cache. So stay tuned, because in the next section, we'll show you how you can get started with Azure Active Directory.